Welcome to this week's edition of the Week in Triathlon. Let's roll that intro and get stuck into this week's news. This week we kick off the news with the Olympic distance triathlon, and breaking news, if you pardon the pun, is that the defending silver medalist from London 2012, Javier Gomez Noya, is out of the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. He had a small crash while on his bike after a workout just this past Wednesday. He was only going at about 15 kilometers an hour, that's less than 10 miles an hour, and he came down on his left elbow, causing a displacement fracture in the radial head. Javier is due to be having surgery at roughly the same time that this edition of the Week in Triathlon is busy recording. So I won't have ready for you in this edition exactly what the outcome of his surgery is, but I'm pretty sure that with the top-notch surgeons that he's got available to him here in Spain, the outcome of the surgery will be positive. Gomez Noya has released a statement to the Spanish Triathlon Federation asking them to allocate his slot for Rio 2016 to another athlete. Just something that I was contemplating after that is maybe the Gomez Noya will use his rehabilitation from the surgery to do some endurance work and maybe make an appearance at Kona this year. After all, he has already qualified for Kona, being the 70.3 world champion, and he's racked up already more than enough points on the Kona ranking system to be able to race Kona. So we'll see how that plays itself out. Now, one other very important piece of news that I've got for you is that there's a brand new playlist on the Coach Edu YouTube channel, the same YouTube channel where this Week in Triathlon is busy playing. There's a new playlist on that channel called How the Race Was Won. And what happens is every single weekend I take a number of the triathlons that happen and do an analysis of each race and show you the analysis of how that specific race was won. Here in the Week in Triathlon, I just give you the bare bones results. In the new series of How the Race Was Won, I explain to you how each of those races do get won. Next up, we move on to the world of Ironman news. And Ironman has announced a new, between inverted commas, 70.3 event in Western Australia at Busselton. This isn't to be confused with the Ironman 70.3 Busselton that takes place in May each year. This is a completely different event. And it's the Ironman 70.3 Western Australia, and it takes place on the 4th of December 2016. Yes, that's the same date as the Ironman Western Australia. So it's on the same day, it's at the same place, and it's on the same circuit. So as Ironman Western Australia. And because the full distance Ironman will be carrying the pro race with pro prize money, you can be sure that the Ironman Western Australia 70.3 will have 0 pro race and 0 prize money, which just makes a hell of a lot of economic sense from the point of view of the Ironman Corporation. Now, the one thing that I was looking at both the full distance Ironman Western Australia and now the 70.3 added as well, the one thing I've got no idea how they're going to be able to do is how Ironman will be able to enforce the no drafting rule on that specific bike circuit. The full distance Ironman is a 2-lap bike course. The 17.3 is 1 lap of exactly the same course. These two events happen at the same time on the same day. So which means that what you'll have is the fast Ironman bikers passing the 70.3 riders and the slower Ironman riders. You'll also have the fast 70.3 riders moving through the field of the full distance Ironman riders, and you'll have the slower 70.3 athletes are going to be overtaken by Ironman athletes as well. So in addition to all of that, as you're coming into transition for the 70.3, you'll be hitting the turnaround point for the full distance. So your full distance athletes come in towards transition, they do a U-turn and they head back out again at the same time that the 70.3 athletes are heading straight through transition. Add crowds of spectators around the same type of area and you've got a triathlon version of the Ventoux affair from the Tour de France just waiting to happen. Then, as far as last weekend in the world of Ironman racing is concerned, there were 4 70.3s that took place last weekend, and the first of those was on Saturday the 9th, which is the Ironman 70.3 Muncie, Indiana in the USA. No pro race and no results to report on there. Then the next 3 all took place on Sunday, July the 10th. The first one being the Ironman Muskoka, and that was in Ontario, Canada. Again, at that event, no pro race, no results to be able to report. Next 2 were Ironman 70.3 Jönköping in Sweden. Jody Swallow won for the men's. Jody Swallow of Great Britain won for the ladies, should I say, and Andres Dritz of Germany won the men's race. Then moving ahead to the Ironman 70.3 Vineman in California, Holly Lawrence of Great Britain won the ladies' race, while Andy Potts of the USA won the men. Important to note that both these 2 events have got more detailed videos available on that playlist, How the Race Was Won. Go check it out. Then, as far as this coming weekend is concerned, you've got 2 Ironman events taking place, both on Sunday the 17th. First up is the Ironman 70.3 Racine, Wisconsin, USA, and then also on Sunday the 17th you've got the Ironman UK that takes place in Bolton, England. Next up, Challenge Family News. The Challenge Family website is once again, just as per usual, wafer thin as far as news is concerned. However, we've managed to find out for you that Angry Bird, that's Daniela Rafe, has confirmed that she'll be racing in Challenge Roth this coming weekend. This means that Challenge Roth will have both the women's and men's Kona champions in action. If you recall from the Weekend Triathlon back in February, I gave you the news that Jan Frodeno was indicating that he was going to be racing, but not only that he was going to be racing, that he's going to be chasing the iron distance world record in Roth. As far as last weekend in challenge is concerned, there was the half challenge St. Andrews in Canada on Sunday the 10th of July, and you had Heather Lowe of Canada winning the ladies race, while Leroy of Canada won the men's race. This coming weekend is only one event on the challenge calendar, and that is on Sunday the 17th of July, and that's Challenge Roth, the flagship event of the entire challenge family. Next up, as far as the world of Xterra is concerned, and Xterra has no news of any specific value this week. Yes, they've got 5 pieces of new content on their webpage, and you can see clearly from that this year Xterra has the first American world champion for the past 16 years. So all 5 pieces of new content on their webpage feature Josiah Middaugh. It's almost as if no other pro athlete in the world of Xterra exists right at the moment. Then, as far as last weekend is concerned, there was on Sunday the 10th of July was Xterra Victoria, and that's in British Columbia, Canada. Katie Button of Canada won the ladies' race, while Carsten Madsen of Canada won the men's. This coming weekend on Saturday the 16th of July, you've got Xterra Beaver Creek, and that's Colorado, USA. Now onto the world of ITU, and strangely enough, as far as the world of ITU is concerned, they've stepped away from their usual internal politics to actually report some content about actual triathlon taking place. Go figure. The content that they're featuring is about the World Series race that's happening in Hamburg this weekend. It's the final World Series race before the Rio Olympic Games. As far as Pacific racing is concerned, last weekend there were no top-level ITU events that took place, top elite level international ITU events. This coming weekend, as I mentioned earlier, Sunday the 17th of July, you've got the ITU World Triathlon Series, Hamburg, and that's in Germany. That brings us to the end of this week's edition of The Week in Tri. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Any comments, questions, or criticisms that you may have, post those in the comment section down below. Also, remember down below as well, I'll also post a link to that playlist of how the race was won. Be sure to go and check that out. And last but no means least, remember, stay carved up for the win. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Whoa! Oh.
Coach Edu.